Oh boy, Pakistan. There's a reason you hold a special place in every sports lover's heart. Because honestly speaking, no one knows what you're going to present on the given day. It's Afghanistan taking on Pakistan, match number 36 at Leeds. And let me just put it out there, first things first. There are no more 1992 World Cup references left to give. We are now down to 2019. The focus is on 2019. And we are now, of course, going to be focusing on these boys because destiny lies squarely in the hands of this Pakistan team if they are to make the semi-finals of the Cricket World Cup 2019. Pakistan taking on Afghanistan. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPN Cricket for Match Day Live. We're joined in studio by the M&M Connection. That's the new name, by the way. Murali, Kartik and Michael. Hussey, guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Will the real Slim Shady stand up?
No, he's going to be coming in a bit right now. But we're talking about the third M as well. We love the M's here because Misbah-ul-Haq, former captain of Pakistan. Misbah, thank you so much for joining us from Pakistan. And also, a little later on the show, the real Slim Shady, you spoke about it, Kartik. The real Slim Shady is Anubhav Jain, who's going to be bringing us everything that is on Social Corner, everything that's happening in social media. Yes, of course, a big game today for Pakistan and a big game for Afghanistan as well because they haven't found a single win in the tournament so far. But Mike, they hold a special place, right? Because just purely because of the unpredictability, you don't know what to expect from Pakistan.
Well, exactly right. I think they've got some serious momentum going now, and just watching them on TV, the sound of that crowd that gets behind them, I think that drags them along as well. And so I think they're going to come out confident. They're playing a good brand of cricket now. I think Haris Sohail, since he's come into that team, he's really changed things up. A real positiveness to that middle order. Players are starting to play with some confidence, so they're going to be hard to beat today. But the key is they've got to play those Afghan spinners well, because they are dangerous. And certainly as the pitches are getting a bit drier later in the tournament, they weren't as effective earlier in the tournament, but they're starting to become more and more effective as it goes on. So that's going to be a key component of this match, but I still think Pakistan go in as firm favourites. Plenty of motivation, obviously, and I'm sure that crowd are going to be right behind them again.
So FYI, your floral tie, it has found a special place in my heart as well.
Very nice.
I'm loving it.
Very nice.
It's just loving it. We'll just show you the points table now and as things stand in the World Cup and why Pakistan still hold a chance of moving into the semi-finals. Professor Kartik from the University of Points Table, sir. This is 7 matches played, 3 matches won, 7 points, and if they win both their matches, that is a total of 4 points, 11 points. And of course, if India does them a bit of a favour versus England, it could go their way.
See, it's in their hands to win those 2 games. After that, they're dependent on whether England win only 2 or win both their games.
Yes.
So, win only 1 or both their games, sorry. So, what they can do from their side is that they win and put pressure on England, because once England sees that they've already won 1 game and then they've got Bangladesh, obviously the pressure is also on England and the other teams who are there. So you can't do anything more because you left it too late. So with the worst or the best case scenario right now is for Pakistan. Thankfully for them, and I'm saying thankfully not with any disrespect, they are not facing an Australia or a stronger side, a New Zealand in the last 2 games. If anything could pan out and pan out rightly for them, it is the fact that they're facing Afghanistan, no disrespect to them, and Bangladesh, again no disrespect to them, possibly where they will think that we go in as the firm favourites.
Misbah, when we were speaking to you during the course of this tournament, of course, you used to refer back to the Champions Trophy, the last Champions Trophy that Pakistan won, and you said, of course, there, once they picked up momentum, they never looked back. It's been a different tournament so far in the World Cup, but they've done already something they haven't done in this World Cup so far, won 2 back-to-back games to win that 3rd game, really. The pressure, would you say, is a bit on Pakistan now? I'll repeat myself. I don't think we can get Misbah's audio on the line, and hopefully he'll join us and we'll sort that out. But really, to do something they haven't done, guys, you know, the momentum, it's been pretty stop-start. Now they've picked up that momentum of 2 wins. So now, of course, win number 3 needs to come their way now.
Well, of course, and they'll be pushing hard for that. I guess that's what we're all sort of juggling with at the moment, because we don't know what Pakistan's going to turn up. We see this unpredictability in them all the time. At their best, they are mercurial. And we've seen that in their last 2 matches. But at their worst, you know, you think, how are these guys, you know, been world champions in the past, you know? So they've just got to make sure that they are focused on what they need to do turn up and give a really good performance. It doesn't have to be the best performance they've ever done in the world. They just have to come in and give a good, solid performance, focus on their basic skills, and not get too carried away with things, and just do the basics well, and then they should be fine. But we're all still got question marks because we know the difference between their very good and their worst is quite big. So Pakistan just need to focus on what their good looks like.
A word on Team Afghanistan, and no disrespect intended, like you mentioned as well, on their playing ability, but there's just so much happening outside of the field, Kartik. So probably from Pakistan's point of view, the time is right to face them.
Yeah, and even otherwise, even if things were going fine, they would still fancy them. But from an Afghanistan point of view, I don't think they arrived into the World Cup in a great frame of mind. One of your mainstays, or the captain who has led you and who has inspired a lot of confidence in the team, if he's been changed at the last minute where the seniors are saying, oh no, he shouldn't have been, where the coach himself is going on record saying that, oh, I'll let the nation know and everyone know what happened there, which means that there is a lot going on. Secondly, one of your senior players, one who can make a difference. Mohammad Shehzad can definitely make a difference, because as a bowler, you're thinking, this guy can hit me anywhere. If he gets going, it sets a great platform for the Afghan players.
Yeah.
And batting has not been their forte. He was sent back again under dubious circumstances. Nobody knows what's happening there. Another player being disciplined right now. And I've said this before, it takes a long time for a captain coach to form an alliance and forge that confidence in one another, be on the same page and get everyone on the same page. When all this has happened and then you change the captain, and then the ex-captain also gets left out. Suddenly he's not good enough. He was captain one day and he's left out the next day in the first game of the season. Things aren't going right there.
It seems like Phil Simmons, the coach, he's trying to set some pretty high standards here for Afghanistan, because, okay, yeah, they've been an emerging team coming through. They've made themselves into the World Cup. They're doing really well. They're improving. But to take their game to the next level, they've got to lift their standards in all areas, whether it be batting, bowling, field, but also their off-field conduct as well. This is what the best teams in the world do. Yes, there's always slip-ups along the way, but if they want to become one of the top teams in the world, like in India, like in Australia, New Zealand, England, for example, they've got to lift all their standards up another level, whether it's on the field, but also off the field.
Misbah, it's good to have you back on the show, sir. I hope you can hear me clearly now. We were talking in the studio about how it is probably the best time to play Afghanistan purely because of all the noise that is surrounding their team right now.
I think Pakistan, if we just think about Pakistan at the moment, it doesn't matter who you are playing, and Pakistan should just focus on their own game and what they need to do before this game. I always just believe in this team, that this Pakistan team, especially if you talk about the batting lineup, this batting lineup is far better against pace. They struggle against spin, and especially some of the top spinners in Afghanistan's lineup. Obviously, they are having a lot of problems there, changing of captain and this and that, and a lot going on there. They lost 7 games, a lot of problems there, but still, I mean, considering that our 2 openers are left-handers, Nabi might get the new ball from one end, Mujib is there. It's difficult to pick them, and then obviously leg spinner in terms of Rashid Khan. It's going to be a test for Pakistan, and this Pakistan side is not that good in picking the mystery spinners. Obviously, it's a fresh pitch, so it might not turn that the way it was turning in Birmingham or the way it was turning in Old Trafford, but still Pakistan just needs to play these spinners very well. Obviously, some of the top teams like Australia, England, other teams are having tough games. Afghanistan is down at the moment in confidence, but I mean, they're not having any sort of pressure of expectations. They're just looking for their first win, and they will be confident against Pakistan because they already won the warm-up match against Pakistan. So Pakistan should be aware of that factor and don't give them an inch or a little bit hope that they can win this game. So that will be important for Pakistan, to just get them under pressure and then keep pressing the pedal, because Pakistan needs not only want to win this game, but also if they can just get themselves a better chance by winning convincingly. So, if there are two teams standing at a position 11 points each, then there might be net run rate come into play. So, for all means, it's a far more important game for Pakistan.
Yeah, of course, Misbah making it pretty clear you cannot give Afghanistan even a sniff in. It has to be a complete victory for Team Pakistan today. But of course, all that's happening on the field. What's happening off the field? Off the field, I mean what's happening in social media. We spoke about Slim Shady. Shady, I'm pretty sure. By looking at you, Slim?
He's not.
Not too sure about that. Over to you, Anubhav Jain.
Definitely
Pretty buff,
shady.
huh?
Yeah, definitely shady.
Thank you so much, my friend. On today's Social Corner menu, we've got an Asian entree with Afghanistan taking on Pakistan with a little bit of Sri Lanka versus South Africa for desserts. And the reason I picked that fixture for desserts is because there's something very sweet about it, as evidenced by the fact that the bees keep descending upon this fixture. First in 2017 at the Wanderers in Johannesburg, and then yesterday at the Riverside in Durham. Now, moving from something sweet to something not so sweet, Sri Lanka's performance yesterday. But Mahela Jayawardene still remains pretty optimistic and says that it's the World Cup, miracles do happen. So let's just give it our best in the next two games. Up next, we've got Akash Chopra, who says that South Africa won yesterday and in the process helped England as well, but it wasn't the first time that South Africa had helped English cricket for a while. It's almost as if Akash had this tweet saved as a draft before the game and was hoping, eagerly waiting for a South Africa win such that he could just press the submit button. Next up, we've got Abdul Razak, who says that he's been keenly observing Hardik Pandya's batting in this tournament so far and believes that Hardik Pandya's batting has a few technical flaws, and then makes a very bold appeal to the BCCI, saying that, you know what, if the BCCI allows him to spend a couple of weeks with Hardik Pandya, he's going to turn him into the best all-rounder in the world. And then the very unforgiving world of social media had a bit of fun at Abdul Razak's expense, posting a picture of Hardik Pandya with Abdul Razak's face superimposed on it, saying that, you know what, if Abdul Razak is to spend a couple of weeks with Hardik Pandya will have more of an influence on Razak than the other way around. Kartik, the world of social media can definitely be ruthless, merciless, unforgiving.
You're absolutely right. And sometimes you feel that it's better off not getting into danger zones over there. And exactly, I don't know what Abdul Razak meant, if he was asked or he put it out on his own. But having said that, somebody might ask him, why aren't you going into your own country and helping develop all-rounders? And why are you trying to get into India for that? So that way, social media can be unforgiving. And over here, absolutely right, you never know. Suddenly you might have gold chains and glasses with a different sort of a hairstyle.
Respect the creativity.
Of course.
the person
Of course. I know you would definitely come out with that. So that is why people like me and Huss don't get into that kind. So you'll never see any of our posts coming. You'll never stalk us and put us on there because we never post anything like that where we are sticking our foot into the grave.
Just having my coffee, waiting for the match analysis. Just having my green tea.
Exactly.
None of that.
None of that.
You guys?
None of that. Watching AFL, reading spiritual books. No, they're not going to come.
Certainly food for thought for Abdul Razak there. And we'll wrap things up with Saad Sadiq, who says that Pakistan is definitely going to be pumped for today's match, given what's at stake. But in case they need more motivation, they should remember the words of Asadullah Khan, who's the interim CEO of the Afghanistan Cricket Board, who recently said that we're currently far better than Pakistan and they should ask us for technical coaching and more support for the betterment of their cricket. So I definitely see some sparks flying in today's encounter.
Thank you so much for that, Anubhav Jain. That was, of course, a very enjoyable segment. Social media, we bring it to you every day on ESPN Cricket for Match Day. It's time for a small little break here on the show, but the analysis continues on the other side. We're building up to Pakistan taking on Afghanistan in Leeds. We'll see you in just a bit.
अगर मैं पाकिस्तान का कोच बना तो बिल्कुल बताऊंगा अभी क्या बताऊंगा
तू टैलेंट का भंडार तेरी बैटिंग 6 और 4 Who needs 2s and 3s when you can hit the ball so far? That uppercut of Hassan was full of passion. Short and wide, simple sweep like slicing maska bun. That shot it wasn't new, matlab full on deja vu. Such a ball to was it a tribute to you know who? Abhi kya bataunga? जब दिल करे तू कर देता है पुल. अब क्या शॉट क्या वाइड क्या फुल. और टाइमिंग ऐसी भाई तुम्हारी के मुंह से निकले beautiful. I have thought this through, this is my question to you. If you really try to do it, could you pull a Yorker too? This new healthy dose of grit, you तूने कैसे कर दिया fit? No hit से तू हो गया pro hit, the kids they say you're late. आँखों में ऐसा fire that till now we haven't seen. तू कैसे बन गया रे अपना leading run machine? You're in the form of your life, you look in zero trouble. तू जैसे 100 रन मारता है, we say make that a double. अभी क्या बताऊँगा? But भाई बस एक और final thing, ये trophy घर तो you must bring. Don't make us write another song for Root Warner or Kane to sing. अभी क्या बताऊंगा? अभी क्या बताऊंगा? अभी क्या बताऊंगा? अभी क्या बताऊंगा?
Play Cricket Picks, the new predictor game from ESPN Cricinfo. Make predictions, pick your winners, and track your progress throughout the tournament. Go to espncricinfo.com/cricketpicks and play today.
Welcome back to ESPN Cricinfo Match Days. We're building up to Pakistan taking on Afghanistan at Leeds. It's time to head back to England as Pommy Mabangwa is standing by with both the captains for the toss. Now, how much do you know about Leeds, or rather Headingley? Well, here's a story coming up to tell you a bit more about the venue that hosts the first of today's two games.
This is Headingley, the home of Yorkshire Cricket Club. Fans of cricket history remember this as the place where Don Bradman scored 300 runs in a single day. India's batting coach Sanjay Banga remembers this as the place where he batted almost an entire day for 68 runs to set up a famous win against England. Let's take a really quick tour. Headingley is known as a paradise for swing bowlers, but it has also seen some batting masterpieces. Decades after Bradman's triple in one day, the venue witnessed another miracle, the 1981 Ashes Test. Following on after ending the first innings 227 behind, England were 135 for 7 in the second. At this point, the odds on an England win were 500 to 1. Ian Botham beat those odds and England beat Australia by 18 runs. In the 41 one-day internationals played at this venue, teams batting second have had a distinct advantage. Batting first, 15 wins. Batting second, 24 wins. Headingley was in action on the very first day of the first ever Men's World Cup, as Australia beat Pakistan in one of 4 matches played across England that day. For fans of cricket's great sledges, this was the ground where Herschel Gibbs famously dropped the World Cup in 1999. Headingley will host 4 matches at this World Cup. Afghanistan will look forward to their outings against Pakistan and West Indies, while Sri Lanka might not be looking forward to their 2 games here. They will face favourites England and India. Who knows, if the weather holds and the pitch plays true, is another Bradman-esque triple really out of the question?
Yes, of course, the word has come in from England. Afghanistan has won the toss and they've decided to bat first. Mike, they're predicting it to be a very sunny day. So you fine with that decision?
I like it. Yeah, it's obviously, yeah, very sunny, so conditions should be good. Obviously, we can't see the pitch from here, but it must be a nice pitch. England struggled to chase down a low score against Sri Lanka there probably a few days ago, so maybe they think the pitch is going to slow down a bit. Their strength is obviously with their spinners, so if they can get in there, bat well, bat their 50 overs, which has been a goal of theirs, put some sort of a total on the board, and then back their strength to try and defend it with those spinners.
You also fine with that decision?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's a good total then for them, keeping in mind how they've done?
Tough one.
With the
Tough
back
one.
end?
That is something which you cannot predict just by looking at the surface from here.
At least go for
you
200,
want to see the first few overs and then assess. I don't think even the teams can just make out that, oh, this is where we get to. Sometimes you get there, feel a few balls on the bat, see the pitch, and then you decide. So possibly if you come during the 5th over, we'll be able to let you know. Look, the average score over there, they're saying is what, 285. I think Afghanistan will be pretty happy if they can get there.
No, keeping their realities in mind. So that's
No, you never know. You never know. So somebody gets going, you never know. But yeah, they should be happy with anything in excess of 250, 260.
Yeah, I think 250. If they can get 250
that should
on
be
the board, then Pakistan, they've got a nervy chase ahead. Someone has to bat well, like a Babar Azam again, some wickets from the spinners. They'll give themselves a chance anyway.
Okay, let's take a look at both the 11s now. Of course, Afghanistan have decided to make one change in their 11. I don't think there's been even one game where they've come back with the same 11, and our experts have even gone mad trying to predict what that 11 is going to be, because they themselves don't know. We ourselves don't know what that best 11 looks like. Hamid Hassan has come back into the Afghanistan side, and as far as Pakistan's playing 11, well, they've chanced upon, or should I say they've finally found a settled 11 in this World Cup. Misbah, you were talking about in our preview as well. It's good to see that at a good time you finally found the best 11 and the best combination for this team.
Yeah, I think that was basically the reason why Pakistan was struggling in the early games, because they themselves don't know which is their best 11, and they don't know which are the 3 seamers. And obviously their batting lineup, they were not sure about whether to play Haris and Shoaib Malik, and exactly which numbers they're going to bat. So finally, that's been sorted out. Now Shaheen Afridi is the second seamer with the new ball, with Muhammad Amir and Wahab was already bowling well. So settled team, settled bowling lineup, and then obviously in batting department, Haris is batting very well at number 5, and finally just they settled that batting order. So everything is in order before the game. Going into the crucial matches, I think that's something good for Pakistan.
Right, thanks so much for that, Misbah. It's time for a small little break here on ESPN Cricket for Match Day. The news is in from England. Afghanistan have won the toss. They have decided to bowl first. We'll see you back in just a bit.
I is for Imran Khan. In the 87 World Cup, he was down and out. But in the next, the Captain of Pakistan returned and handpicked his team. 2 of his gems were Wasim and Waqar, and he instructed them nearly every ball and even set them fields. If they dropped pace, he would simply give them this curt reminder. In the final, Imran top scored and picked up the winning wicket to give Pakistan its greatest day in cricket.
Welcome back to ESPN Cricket for Match Day. Pakistan versus Afghanistan is the game in question. And let me say this slowly now because I keep making these mistakes. Afghanistan has won the toss and they've decided to bat first. Applause, gentlemen.
Well done.
Yeah.
Your medication's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. I took a little less before coming on the show, but of course that is the news in from England, guys. Afghanistan won the toss. They have decided to bat first, which means we'll see the likes of Shaheen Shah Afridi, who really gave a good account of himself in Pakistan's last game versus New Zealand, coming good with the ball in the power play overs. And we'll show you a couple of numbers, Michael. Shaheen Shah Afridi, since his debut in ODI cricket, 16 innings, 14 of his wickets in those 16 innings have come in overs 1 to 10. They stumbled upon it a little late in the World Cup, but good nonetheless.
Oh, I think in the last match against New Zealand in Birmingham, his length was impeccable, and that was the key. I felt earlier in the tournament, particularly the game against Australia down at Taunton, he was too short. And David Warner just hit him all over the place. But now, I think after a bit of a chat from the great Wasim Akram, said really focus on that length. He's just honing in on that good area, and he's so skillful. So once he gets in that good area, he can just get a little bit of swing or seam away from the left-hander. He can nip it back in, but he's got decent pace as well. And once he gets his confidence up, he's tall as well. So there's a lot to like about him, but he just has to keep bowling that good length.
Misbah, a word on Shaheen Shah Afridi, because you, of course, for a while now had been saying that Shaheen Shah Afridi needs to fix his line and length. He fixed it and reaped the rewards. And how versus New Zealand?
Yeah, I think outstanding bowling against New Zealand. One thing we just keep mentioning right from the start of this World Cup, even before against the England series, that Shaheen wasn't doing well. That was his line and length, and he was just a bit short, and the discipline wasn't there. Either he was bowling too full, either it was too short and wide. So in the previous game, his discipline was absolutely right at the spot, and he was pitching the ball in the right areas. It was on a good length, where the batsman has to decide that whether to just defend it, whether to leave it. No chance of just making a decision early. If the ball is full in England, sometimes it still gets bowler a little bit of chance of getting wickets and swing. But he was basically just bowling very short. Like Huss already said, that the way he bowled against Australia, it was just swinging, but he was too short that he allowed Australian batsmen to cut and pull. In the last game, he just bowled at that spot where the batsmen don't know whether to just get on the front foot, whether to get it on the back foot, and from there he was just getting that movement. So I think discipline is the key, especially when you are bowling in England. If you put most balls in that area of doubt for a batsman, I think you're going to get success, and Shaheen just did that in the last game.
There's about a minute left on the show, Kartik. We'll just show you a couple of numbers as far as Shadab Khan is concerned, and how when this gentleman takes wickets, Pakistan is always winning the games, and when he's not taking wickets, Pakistan is not winning the games. In a sense, that middle overs and how he comes in and gets breakthroughs is so crucial.
Yeah, it is very crucial, especially in the current format of the one-day game, because you've got 11 to 40, which are with one fielder less. And it's the difference between teams getting big totals and the teams not getting big totals. If you have guys who can get wickets in the middle, we've got Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal who do that for us. Yeah. We spoke about Liam Plunkett for England who gets wickets in the middle over. So you need those kind of bowlers, because once you keep pushing teams back with wickets or consistently, which means that they don't get a partnership. If they don't get a partnership, which means that they don't have the kind of wickets to make that later surge. And that's what's the difference between winning games and keeping teams in check. So you need bowlers like Shadab Khan. It makes a huge difference. When he's doing well, obviously, you know that the teams are not getting anywhere.
Haris Sohail, Shadab Khan, both coming good for Team Pakistan in that middle phase, and it's really helping their team. And how? For all our viewers in the Caribbean now, it's time for us to end our show, as you will be joining live action in just a bit. Afghanistan won the toss and will be batting first. Right, for all our viewers on ESPN Cricinfo Digital Worldwide, the show must go on. It will go on a little longer than thought. Guys, a word on Afghanistan's batting as well. And it hasn't lived up to expectation. I don't know what the expectation really was, but it just worst batting average versus leg spin, 4 innings, 12 wickets, average of 16.3. Mike, am I wrong to say that when you've got someone like Rashid Khan and you're facing him continuously in the nets, isn't that seeming a little odd?
It does surprise me a little because certainly Afghanistan, they base their whole game around spinners. So you think they're practicing against them in the nets all the time. So yeah, it's a surprise to see that. But yeah, they need a big performance today. They need to. They've really lengthened their batting. I think one of their best players, Najibullah, he's batting down number 7 or 8.
Yeah.
You know, so they're obviously really worried about their batting. And I keep hearing the captain say their goal is to bat the 50 overs. Yes, they've got to bat the 50 overs, that's important, but they've still got to bat in a positive manner. If you just look to try and survive and hang in there, then there'll be a ball that's just got your name on it anyway and you'll find yourself back in the pavilion. So the art of batting is all about, yes, batting well and batting to, hang in there, but you've also got to still look to score runs, look to put some pressure back on the bowlers. And sometimes, talk to Kartik about it. A batsman that's looking to put pressure on you is much harder to bowl to than someone that's just looking to hang in there and survive. So their mindset's got to be really important against this Pakistan team.
And even more from a batsman's perspective, and taking cue from what Sri Lanka did in their last game, you don't have to get runs by only boundaries. 1 run, 2 runs, you're always keeping the pressure on the bowler.
As a bowler, the worst thing for me is somebody keeps milking me. And that's where I'm trying to bowl a dot ball and get hit for a 4. That's what happens in one-day cricket. In a T20 game, I'm happy to give 24 singles of my 24 deliveries. In a one-day game, if somebody's easily picking me for singles as a bowler, I'm thinking, oh, should I bring somebody in? Should I bowl? What am I doing wrong that I bowl a delivery? If you're able to continuously nurdle a spinner, that's the easiest thing you can do to get him to bowl bad deliveries. And with that, you know that there is only that odd ball, because 4 or 5 singles and you're thinking, oh, I hope I don't bowl a boundary ball. I hope I don't bowl a boundary ball because it's going to be a 9-run over or 11-run over. So that is what happens when batsmen are continuously picking singles. And any good player, you look at the likes of Azharuddin or Mohammad Yusuf and Virat Kohli, all these guys are tough to bowl to because of the fact that you bowl a good ball, it's still a single. You bowl a good ball, it's still a single. Huss, very good in picking singles. So these are the kind of batsmen who are tougher to bowl to, not somebody who's trying to hit you downtown, he's going to give me a few dot balls. Even if he's trying to play a big shot, there are times you can get away with it. But good balls going for singles, tough art.
Misbah, you of course been seeing the way Afghanistan have been batting in this World Cup. What do you make of their problems with the bat?
They are a big fan of Shahid Afridi. Believe me, everyone there in Afghanistan, and some of them are from Pakistan. They are from Peshawar, and obviously they're a big fan of Shahid Afridi. So that's the only way they know how to play. Only a couple of batsmen, Ashmatullah and Rahmat, these are the 2 guys who just bat like normal batsmen, just stay on the wicket and try to bat 50 over. Otherwise, if you look at all their batsmen, they just either block, either hit. They're a T20 sort of batsmen, and normally they play most of their cricket on concrete pitches where it's all about hitting big shots. And then they played most of their cricket in Sharjah, where the ball is not turning a lot, and normally in Sharjah what you do, it's small boundaries, either you hit, either you block, and most of your runs comes through boundaries. So that's why Afghanistan is always like that, and that's how they just managed to get to the World Cup also. Shehzad and obviously Hazratullah, he's not playing because they just dropped him in the middle of the tournament, that he wasn't getting runs, and in practice game against Pakistan, he just went after Pakistan bowling and we just hit 3 or 4 boundaries to Shaheen Afridi, 1 over, and they at the top, especially Shehzad and Hazratullah, those are the 2 guys who were giving them quick starts, and then they in the middle they just spend more time and finally just managed to score somewhere around 240, 250. If Afghanistan can get to 240, 250, they are a dangerous team because of their bowling lineup, because of their 3 mystery spinners, and obviously Nabi, one of really experienced campaigner. But at the moment, and what I have seen this Afghanistan side, they know only one way to bat, and they are actually now trying to bat differently in this World Cup, and they are struggling. They are not good in taking those sort of singles and just playing 50 overs. They are trying, but obviously that big shot just comes from somewhere, and then they just lose wickets, and they are not even that Afghanistan, and they are not just even like the other teams like Virat Kohli and other batsmen are batting. So that's the problem with them.
Clearly, there is much to learn for Afghanistan with the bat now. Of course, let's now tell you a little more about the venue and how things have fared out in games played here in the past. Average first innings score at the venue is 285. Afghanistan, if you aim for 250, good on you for then. Teams batting first have won 3 of their 5 matches, so that should hold a good omen for Afghanistan. Pace bowlers average 32.5, economy 5.6. Spinners, that average goes up, economy is 5.4. in the last 5 completed ODIs at Headingley. Now, of course, we give you, much like our experts, the chance to predict the winner of every game. All you have to do is go on the ESPN Cricinfo website and go and log on to Cricket Picks.
Put your tipping to the test. Play Cricket Picks, the new predictor game from ESPN Cricinfo. Make predictions and track your progress throughout the tournament. The easiest thing you'll do all day. Go to espncricinfo.com/cricketpicks and play today.
Overwhelming. Overwhelming.
What about
favorite. So I'm not an expert.
No, we make you the expert now.
I would still go for Pakistan.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much.
My wife is watching. I mean, so
Okay.
I have to be honest.
Okay.
So
Watching where? Over there?
on online. Okay. Yeah. No one, not even once did it like cross your mind that they have a small little chance?
I actually do think this is a danger game for Pakistan. I said it yesterday in the preview. I do, because Afghanistan have very good spinners, and Pakistan, they've been up. They've had so much intensity in their last 2 matches. They've got momentum, but if they just get a little bit complacent and think this is going to be an easy one, if they do, and I'm not saying they will, but if they do, Afghanistan can nip in there and just steal the game. But I'm not predicting that. I'm still backing Pakistan to do the job, but I'm just saying could be a danger game.
Yeah, they very nearly took India to the final
Exactly
over,
right.
so it could go a different way. Now, of course, we are following every ball here, and you know what? We're also going to play the World Cup as the match happens on Hotstar Watch and Play, where you don't just watch the match, you play it live alongside your favorite cricketer. Right, final comments, guys, coming in on our show. Misbah, final word for you. What sort of a performance are you expecting from Pakistan today?
I hope that Pakistan is now improving their performance every game. So I personally think I was the captain of Pakistan team at the moment. I should have just clearly given them a message that, okay, before going into field, just know that we are defending 200 and just forget about average score 280, 285. No. This Afghanistan team, if they get to anything around 240, 230, that could be a problem for Pakistan because of their quality in spin attacks. So just go there, decide, okay, we are defending 200, and pick that intensity, body language. That is very important. You don't just want to give them a chance to get back in this game. So I am expecting Pakistan to just go like that, because they know the importance of this game, and they know that they not only have to win this, but they have to win it convincingly also.
Misbah-ul-Haq, Michael Hussey, Murali, Kartik, as always a pleasure having you guys on the show. Remember, Afghanistan have won the toss and chosen to bat first. We will see you again in the mid-innings show. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.